Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Gnocchi class. Welcome. Nice to see everybody. Veronica, Ashley, Ellen, Chris, James, Gamine. All right, Angela, we've got some familiar faces in here. All right, nice to see everybody today. I'm Denise, your co-host for Chicca's Cooking Club. I'm based just outside Portland, Oregon. Chicca's joining us from Castagneto Carducci in Tuscany. Arno is behind the camera, and Michelle, also one of our club founders, is also from Oregon. She'll be monitoring the chat. Chicca is starting in her garden today. What a treat for us. Hi, Chicca. How are you doing this evening?
Buongiorno a tutti. I'm very excited to connect with you all from my farmhouse kitchen in Tuscany, where it's almost dinner time, so I'm going to cook our dinner. We are located on La Strada del Vino, the wine road that leads to Bolgheri, famous for super Tuscan wines. We are celebrating over 5 years of cooking online with our club. And so I want to welcome back any of our members and welcome you if you are new. And I'm going to go in the kitchen where Arnaud is behind the camera.
All right. And I just want to remind you, Michelle will be monitoring the chat and keeping all things technical. And today we're going to be making flour gnocchi with pancetta and pea sauce. The meat is optional. So if you're a vegetarian, of course, you can skip it. The class will be about 75 minutes, give or take. And after a brief introduction, we'll get to cooking together. And at the end, we're going to tell you a little more about what we'll be cooking in the club this season and a special offer we have for you today. And we're going to pull up a few pictures. And Chicca, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm very happy to do that. So, my name is Chicca. For the new people, I say Chicca, not Chicca, and I'm an architect by trade and a proud mom. I'm also a passionate cyclist, and I traveled for about 10 years around the world: Alaska, Ecuador, Zimbabwe, Madagascar, New Zealand, Australia, just to name some. I am a home cook by passion, and in the past 20 years, I have been teaching people from all over the world how to cook authentic Italian recipes. I believe in home food and in the power of fresh and good ingredients. My recipes are mostly vegetarian and based on the Mediterranean diet, as I grew up and live on the west coast of Italy. My mantra in the kitchen is the best use of the simplest ingredients. I buy seasonal, organic, and local products. I also have a little veggie garden. And two staples in my kitchen are my extra virgin olive oil, pressed from the olives that grow on my property, and fresh cut herbs from the garden.
I met Chicca in 2017 on a cousin trip to Tuscany. We stayed for 6 days and did 4 delicious cooking classes. By the end of the trip, Chicca and I were fast friends, and we joked we were just like sisters. And now I'm her co-host and partner in running Chicca's Cooking Club, which was born in 2020, which we'll share more about at the end of class. And as we like to say, the sisters are back together again. And here are some tips we learned from cooking with our club over the past 100 classes. We've learned that when you get busy cooking, you can't always look at your screens. So Kika's going to walk us through everything step by step. I'll do my best to call your attention to important instructions along the way, and Michelle will answer the chat. Know that if we move to the next step and you're not quite there yet, don't worry, just pause, listen to the instructions, watch Kika's demonstration, and then return to where you were. We strongly encourage you to refer back to the recipe, and we'll share that in the chat just one more time. And of course, the most important thing is that we all have fun. And Chicca, there's a couple of questions for you that people probably want to know before they start cooking. If someone isn't going to eat their gnocchi right away, what should they do?
Yes. So you can just prepare the gnocchi with us, follow us step by step. And then if you're eating them later in the day or just after the class, you can just keep them outside, cover with a towel. Or if you're planning to eat like in a couple of days, even if in a week, you can also freeze them. I still have the same gnocchi I made in 2020 during my first live class. They are still in the freezer. And I froze them many times and they freeze perfectly. Just put them in a baking sheet in one layer. Once frozen, put them in an airtight container. They freeze beautifully. And just cook them in a hot boiling water without defrosting them.
All right. And then, okay, for the fun part, will you show us what you have prepped?
Yes. So this recipe is super simple. We don't need many ingredients, as you can see. And these gnocchi in particular are made with just two ingredients, flour and water. They're here. And the most important thing is that the quantity of flour is equal in weight of the water. So if you haven't measured yet your flour and water, just make sure they're equal in weight. That's the most important part of the recipe. Then I have the Parmigiano, the salt, the butter, and the pepper. Here I have some tools to shape the gnocchi. I'll show you later how to do that. And then I have my ingredients for the sauce. The sauce is super simple. I'm going to use the extra virgin olive oil from my garden. And then I didn't have a leek because leeks are in season mostly in the winter. And if something is not in season in Tuscany, you will never find it. So I'm using my onions from the garden. I'm not using a lot because they are super strong. And the kitchen with this small onion is just it smells onions everywhere. Then I have the peas, the Parmigiano. And here I have all my pots and pans to make the recipe, to cook the gnocchi. Shall we go?
Yes, let's get this party
Yes?
started.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm moving all my gnocchi ingredients to make the dough on the kitchen because this recipe doesn't call for potatoes. I will tell you more later about the different kinds of gnocchi. And so basically we are going to cook the flour into the water. So the first thing that we're gonna do is to add the water. The heat is off in a pan. The butter, the Parmigiano, the cheese, grated, a pinch of salt, and a little bit of black pepper. Okay. So now you turn the heat on, and you do not go anywhere because you need to stay close to your pot. And we want to turn the heat on and we want to have the butter melted, the cheese melted, and the water just soft boiling. What you have to look for is just little bubbles around the edge of your pot and some steam coming up from the center of the water. You don't want to overboil the water because the cheese will clump and then some of the water will evaporate and it will be not enough to absorb the flour. Okay, so give a stir. Stay there, look for all these signs because this happens very quickly. And make sure that you're looking for little bubbles, butter melted, cheese melted, and some steam on top of the surface of the water. So I'm also putting a lid here so things can go a little faster. So when I have all the signs, I will take the flour and put it in one step, not slowly. Just remember, just one quick step and turn the heat off. Okay? This will be our dough. You're gonna see it's a fantastic dough. It's very easy to make. It's very elastic and it doesn't stick. And you're gonna make gnocchi forever with this recipe because it's easy. It's not complicated. Other gnocchi recipes are much more complicated, especially the potato ones, because if you don't have the right potatoes, you will never get the right type of gnocchi. Either they melt into the water when you boil them, or they turn out gummy because you need to use old potatoes because they don't have so much water, just starch, and so they get fluffy and soft. So I'm just checking my water. Okay, my water is there. So I have little bubbles and the steam, and so I add the flour one step like this, and then turn the heat off. Then stir, stir quickly. And we're gonna make, we want to have the water absorbing all the flour. Is everybody okay, Denise, Michelle?
Yes, there was just one question about that. Yeah, you put the flour all in once your water has started to boil. And
Yes, it's important to turn the heat off now. Yeah.
yep, so I think that we've got people that are still watching their pots boil.
Okay, no problem. We can wait. My water always boils faster, right?
It does boil
Yeah.
fast.
Okay, and now I'm moving back to the table. Okay, maybe I can show you how the dough looks like at this point. Maybe you can use the head camera. Everybody can see. This is what you should get, like a crumbly dough, still soft. And now we are going to knead the dough, okay? So I'm moving the dough from my pot on the work surface. And you'll see there are lots of pieces, and that's perfectly normal. But we're gonna need not for a long time, just for a little bit to have an homogeneous dough. So you, with your hands, you compress all the crumbles, and you can see bits of flowers at this point. And I'll show you the kneading technique. Once you have a bowl, put it in the center of your work surface, and with the palm of your hand, you're gonna press down and stretch the dough, fold it, rotate it, and repeat. The dough is a little hot, so I hope your hands are not burning. I'm used to it. But it's important to give this knead couple of minutes of kneading so the dough will become more elastic and homogeneous. We wanna have all the flour being absorbed by the water. So, and it's important to do this now when the dough is still hot, because it's easier to make the flour be absorbed. So I repeat, you with the palm of your hands, you stretch away from you, you fold it, you rotate it, and repeat. You can also do with your hands. Stretch away, fold it, rotate it, and repeat. It's a rolling. You don't have to press too much. Sometimes people just press a lot. No, that's not good. Just do like a gentle stretch, like a gentle massage. So the reason why is that we don't want to have the gluten developed. Otherwise, our gnocchi will become harder. So when we make like fresh pasta, like fettuccine, any kind of fresh pasta, we need to knead and apply a lot of energy because we want the gluten develop to have to hold the pasta together. In this case, it's the opposite. We don't want to have the gluten. Otherwise, our gnocchi will become harder, okay? So you just need to do this, fold it, rotate it, stretch away gently, fold it, rotate it, stretch away, fold it, rotate it. I do a couple of times and I'm done.
Yeah, so
So see, not even like 2 minutes. Yeah.
there are a couple people whose water
So
still isn't boiling quite yet. So
oh
yeah,
wow.
the important thing is to watch Kika's demonstration, and then we'll get then you'll
We
get.
can wait. We can wait a second. Yeah. So if we wait, it's if I wait now, I want to cover the dough with either with a kitchen towel or with the bowl because I don't want the dough to be dehydrated. Otherwise, it will be difficult to make ropes and shape the gnocchi. So it's a recipe that needs a rhythm. You
Yeah,
can relax. Yeah, you can relax too much. I mean, you need to be relaxed, but you need to be focused
yeah,
because steps are happening one after the other. Okay?
yeah.
And yeah, so Denise,
And,
tell me.
and James says that his dough is very wet. So I'm going to pop us into a gallery view here really quick. And
Yeah,
James, let's bring your you up, and you can show Kika your
Sure.
Uh, do you think did you weigh the flour and the water or did you do cups?
Nope, I weighed it using grams.
Okay, what kind of flour did you use? Double
Caputo
zero
double
flour?
zero. Yeah,
Maybe I add just more flour, you know?
I need
It's
it.
super, yeah, it's super sticky. Is it sticky?
Yep,
Yeah, yeah, okay. You can add flour. Yeah,
thanks.
a little bit of flour. You're welcome.
Thanks, James.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. And let's pop over to gallery view again really quick. Does anybody else have any questions that they want to check, have Kika take a peek at their dough? Everybody else looking good? We got people looking like they're doing some kneading here. All right. We got smiles and we've got Todd giving us a cheers. Thanks, Todd.
Okay,
All right.
great.
Um,
Okay, so
Colleen said hers might be dry. Colleen, did you want to see if you're on? Colleen's not on screen. So if their dough is a little bit dry, what can they do if their dough is a little bit dry?
yeah, just maybe wet your hands with a little bit of water and keep kneading, adding the water just with your wet hands. Don't pour any water because then it's always too much. When I do this, I always make a mistake. So make sure you add slowly, slowly. Okay?
Okay, so wetting your hands just a little bit at a time
Yeah,
until it gets a little bit less dry. Great.
great. Okay, so I'm now starting to make some ropes for our gnocchi. And I need a spatula here. I don't know where is this spatula. Where's the spatula? Okay, I take this one. Okay, so you take a piece of the dough, not very big, especially if you're a beginner, you know, you don't want to work with big pieces of dough. And just like the size of the palm of your hand, okay? And we make a rope. So to make a rope, you just put the little piece of dough in the center of your work surface, and with the palm, not with your finger, you just gently roll the piece of dough, okay? Like this, slowly, slowly. When it stretches a little bit, you can use the two palms and apply a little pressure so you start making the rope a little longer, okay? Like this, like this. So the size of the rope should be the size of your index fingers. This determines the size of your gnocchi. And I mean, you can make also big gnocchi. If the ropes are, the width of the rope is large, you will have larger gnocchi. If your rope is thin, you're going to have smaller gnocchi. And I think it's nice to have bite-sized gnocchi. So this is the size that I'm looking for. And after this, I'm gonna cut the ropes end to end in smaller pillows. I show you how, just, and the size, this is like the size of a hazelnut, okay? Don't make big gnocchi. And I keep doing this with the remaining piece of dough, okay? And you can put this on the side. So these are already made gnocchi. You don't have to shape them with a board or a fork. You can also boil them the way they are, and they are still delicious. But it's always nice to have like an indentation and a cavity because it helps to stick the sauce to the gnocchi. So I'm taking another piece of dough and just do the same thing that I did before, just roll. So one thing that I often see that people just press with their fingers. You just have to gently roll because if you press too much, you're gonna have this kind of effect. Whereas you want to have a roll, you just want to roll. Just imagine that you're playing, okay? And then I cut in the same way, small pillows. Okay.
And I just wanted to point out that if you are working, now's a good time for you to just take a quick pause and watch Kika make ropes and cut her pillows.
Yeah. So I take a piece the size of my palm, not too big. Because if you have a big piece of, I mean, you can do a big piece of dough, but it's more difficult. So you put it in the center with the palm of your hand, you just start rolling gently. Okay. And you see that it starts stretching. And then when it starts stretching a little longer, you use two hands and just apply a little pressure towards the ends and make another rope. Like this. Okay. Don't press very much with your fingers. So I have used a 00 flour for this recipe. And I don't know if you have used any kind of other flour, but 00 is the flour that has less gluten content and also has no other, like the bran or the jam. It's pure starch. So the trick to make soft gnocchi is to have the right flour, and this is the best for gnocchi.
Earlier on,
Awesome.
Kika, we had a question is since this is not made with potatoes, Wendy asked, will the gnocchi be less dense?
Yes, they will be very light. You can have the same result. That's a good question because potato gnocchi are my nightmare, actually, because you never know how they turn out. Since when you get the potato boiled, you know how your gnocchi will be. Because potatoes, if you use new potatoes, that's not good because they have a lot of water. So to hold them together, you need to keep adding flour, and flour makes them harder. So it's a circle, and so it's very difficult. So this one, you will see they will be very light, very soft. I've been doing this gnocchi for so many years, and people have been loving them so much because they're easy to make and super light. And you're gonna tell me later if you're light. So I'm doing another rope here. Does anyone try the potato gnocchi?
Yeah, let's
I don't know.
in the chat drop
Yeah.
this in if you've made the potato gnocchi. I've made it
Yeah.
through
How was Denise?
through the class, and it is definitely harder than this gnocchi recipe.
Yeah. So in Italy, we have gnocchi actually is just a name for a shape of pasta, round and soft, the dumplings. And we make gnocchi
And
out of many ingredients,
I
right?
am gonna interrupt. If you are going to be cooking your gnocchi, it's time to start boiling your water.
Yes. Thank you.
So if you're going to be cooking and eating your gnocchi with us right after class, time to start boiling your water so it's ready to go.
Yeah. And yes, I was saying that in Italy, we make gnocchi with many different ingredients. If you travel from region to regions, you find so many traditional recipes. Like for instance, in Trentino, Alto Adige, on the Dolomites, you'll find gnocchi made with stale bread mixed with eggs, spinach, and meat. They are like big balls, like almost a tennis ball, and they are cooked in broth, and they are delicious. In Tuscany, if you come to Tuscany, if you go to a restaurant, try to find nudi. Nudi means naked gnocchi because basically they are made with spinach and ricotta, and they are also pretty big, and they are practically they are the filling of the ravioli, and that's why naked because they nudi because they don't have the pasta shell. Then you can make gnocchi out of squash. One recipe that I always make during my in-person classes is gnocchi di semolina gnocchi. And also, this is also very easy because you're not boiled. Once you make the dough, that it's made with semolina, milk, and butter. Once the dough is formed, you make the gnocchi and you bake them. So it's a delicious recipe that I grew up with, especially for Christmas. My family used to make this, especially for Christmas. And now I'm lucky I'm making this sometimes almost every week. So it's a nice recipe. Okay, I'll keep doing the ropes. Voila. So you can notice that, yeah, tell me, Denise.
We had a question, just wanted to answer it for them, but also for other people that might have it also. If they're going to be saving their gnocchi later and they're going to be putting it on a pan, would they put 00 flour on the pan, rice flour, semolina flour? What?
Yeah, so you can see mine are not sticky, and yours should be the same. So you don't need to put anything. Just put them in one layer and cover with a towel. But you don't need to add any flour. They will dry out. Because the flour in this case is already cooked. So it doesn't absorb any more humidity and doesn't get sticky. So, but check with your gnocchi. If you feel that your gnocchi are a little bit sticky, definitely you can use 00 flour. But they should not be. Okay, look at this. Yeah, I can put them together, then they'll stick to each other. I could never do this with the other kind of gnocchi. They should be covered with flour to avoid them from sticking, prevent them from sticking. So my last rope. I think by now you should be able to do the ropes, right, Denise? Are they making the ropes?
I
Are
think
people roping?
most people are roping, yes. And I'm gonna open up the gallery and
Yeah, let me see.
Claire, let's have you show your, I'm gonna bring you up, add the spotlight, and I'll unmute you.
Oh, ciao Claire. I know her. Ciao. She's from France. Yeah. Oh, she's making the gnocchi. Oh, good. Great. Uh,
Yep.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah, and we have some people that have said that
Smaller.
that they're done roping. We've got Colleen who says that they're roping. So let's pop back into gallery view, and if you've got a rope, let's hold the rope. Let's hold a rope up. Let's see what the ropes look like. That's fun. Nice. Very well. Nice done. Oh wow, we've got lots of, yeah. Amanda, do you mind if I bring you up and you can show us your what you've got? I've unmuted.
Wow. Oh, wow. Good. Maybe smaller, a little smaller.
Smaller? Okay.
Yeah. Just a little smaller. Otherwise, your gnocchi will be big. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Grazie. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I was one more person was showing off their gnocchi. Let's see, Ashley. There we go. Unmute and bring you up. Let's see, Ashley.
Oh, Ashley, good job. Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Brava.
Well done. All right.
Good job. Oh, that's so good. So cool.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Shall I go on?
Yeah, I think we're probably ready. I know that a couple of people, how are we doing with the people whose water was not boiling?
Yeah.
How is that going? I know that it was, are we good with the people that were not ready yet with the water boiling? Any thumbs downs? Give me a thumbs down if you're having trouble. Anyone? Okay, well, I see no thumbs down, so let's move on then. Great.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Allora, so now we're going to shape the gnocchi. And so as I told you before, these are already gnocchi. If you are lazy, you don't want to shape the gnocchi, just cook them the way they are. They will be delicious the same. But so it's always nice to have a shape like an indentation on one side and cavity on the other side, because this helps to catch the sauce. And so the traditional method to shape the gnocchi, like nonna, was the fork. And I show you a couple of times how to shape the gnocchi with the fork, but I rather use the gnocchi board. And I hope you found one. And you have one, or you can, if you have a sushi mat, you can use a sushi mat. Something with an indentation works well. Like I also have a shell. If you have a shell, you can also use a shell. I'll show you all the methods. So let's start with the nonna method. So you can use the back or the front of the fork. I prefer the back. On this fork, the gnocchi slice better. And so you hold the fork with one hand, and then you place the gnocchi, one small dumpling, on top of the fork. You press with your thumb, and then you slide, and then you have the gnocchi. So you have an indentation on one side. I don't know if you can see that. And maybe we need the overhead camera so people can look better. And the cavity on the other side. Indentation, cavity. Okay, cavity, indentation. Okay. And I'll do a couple of times with the fork, and then I'm gonna switch to the gnocchi board. Okay.
Does the
Voila.
gnocchi board have a name in Italian?
Riga gnocchi. Riga means like these strips. So gnocchi, so means that you make strips on your gnocchi. Yeah, that's a good question, Denise. So
That was
same.
I'm gonna give Mary Rosewood the credit. She was the one that asked that question.
Okay. So you place the gnocchi, riga gnocchi, on the work surface. You hold it with one hand, and with your thumb, you place the gnocchi on top of the board. You press gently, but need to give a pressure. And when you are about at the end of the gnocchi, release. Okay. So one thing that I want to show you, see that it's the the thickness of both sides of the gnocchi are the same. And I'll show you one mistake you can easily make. So the mistake is when you keep pressing before releasing. So you have one side that is thick and the other side that is thin. Okay. Is it clear? Is the image clear?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this is something that people at the beginning usually do. So you just to pay attention when you release the gnocchi. So you press with your thumb, press, give a pressure, but release just when you feel that the dumpling is ending. Okay, I'll do this again. Place the gnocchi with your thumb, you press well, and you roll, and then you release. And you release in the way that the both sides of the gnocchi are equal. Okay? And I can keep doing. Maybe we can ask Arnaud if he can come and try. No? He doesn't want to come.
He's being shy today.
He's being shy today. Okay.
Wendy also has another great question. Once cooked, do they need to be eaten immediately, and then how should people reheat their leftovers?
Yeah, that's a great question. So pasta in general is always best when it's fresh. So usually you cook the pasta, eat the pasta. But yes, of course you can reheat them in the sauce. Just add a little bit maybe of water to, we have cheese, so the cheese will clump a little bit. So you need to loosen a little bit the gnocchi. Yeah, but yeah, if you hey, if you have leftovers, we always have leftovers, gnocchi leftovers. We always reheat them the day after. But for the first time, I suggest you eat now, today. I mean, now. Then I want to show you the shell. You can make another kind of pattern with the shell. See, it's different. So this is a great recipe that I've seen making family with kids, because kids are amazing. They have a lot of fun making this kind of pasta because it's like Play-Doh, and they usually succeed very, very well. And if you don't have a gnocchi board, a fork, well, I hope you have a fork, and as you can use a scraper. and you just make the cavity without the indentation. This is the same way you make cavatelli. Cavatelli, it's another pasta from Italy, but it's the dough is completely different. So, but my favorite tool is the riga gnocchi, the gnocchi board, like this. And voila. So I'll keep doing this for a little bit. I think it's a very nice meditative exercise. Like cooking is for me, it's a kind of relaxing moment all the time because I just think on one thing, present in what I'm doing, and I found that it's relaxing. Okay. So is everybody okay with the making the shape of gnocchi, Denise? Can we help anybody?
I think that some people are still maybe making ropes, and some people. So we're getting a little bit caught up. Gamine, I'm going to bring you up, and you can show your spotlight.
Come in, ciao. Perfect.
Hi.
But she's a club member.
Yes.
So,
And I was just in Italy and I bought a gnocchi board and I've got somebody over here doing it for me.
okay.
So I enlisted my husband to do the rolling and he's got it down really well, just like you guys said.
Yeah. Wow, I can tell. Yeah.
We watched
good
the
job.
video before this of you teaching how to do it.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, great.
Nice to
Thank
see
you very
Gamine.
much. Thank you.
All right, let's pop into the gallery and see if does anybody need any assistance or help? But
we got a request from Hadijat, I hope I'm saying that right, to show the fork roll again.
Okay.
Yeah. I can do the fork roll again. So use the back of your fork and then place the gnocchi, the small pillow on top, and then you press. It's the same method, but you need to help, at least with my fork, a little bit the rolling, okay? Just press and roll. So this fork has a big tines, so the indentation is pretty big. That's why I prefer the gnocchi board. See? So I can go faster, but I'm going slow so you can see. And I can show you again the gnocchi board. I can maybe go here. So you just put it on the top, press with your thumb, give a good pressure. See, my thumb is also almost a half. And then roll it. Oop. Okay, that's gnocchi. I do this again so you can see. Press and release. Press, roll, release. Three steps. Press, roll with your thumb and release. Again. Press, roll, release. Okay. So they are flying everywhere. Okay. I'm almost there, eh?
Yeah. So let's do another peek in the gallery. And I know that some people were still making some ropes and
Really?
we're going. Carol, how's your ropes making going? Let's bring you up. I'm going to add you to spotlight and I'll unmute you. All right, how's it going?
Fine.
Oh,
Okay.
fine.
I'm just behind. I'm fine.
That's okay.
Oh, no problem. It's okay. It's okay.
Do
Yeah.
you need any
But it's
assistance?
fun.
Everything's going okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. All righty. And we'll just pop over to gallery again and see everybody's smiling faces. James is making some ropes again. Anybody double the recipe? Because when you double the recipe, you have to make a lot more gnocchi.
Yeah.
I mean, they
That's a
doubled the
cool-
recipe. That's why she's got a helper. All right. Great.
Yeah. Okay.
We
Yeah.
do have one more question. What to do with the smaller bits, the ends that they're cutting off?
Oh, you can, yeah, you see, like this. I also have some. You make smaller gnocchi. They are cute. Just make smaller gnocchi. So you see, you can decide which size you want to have your gnocchi. So maybe for the first time, it's easier to have a bigger gnocchi. But once you become a little expert, you can also make a smaller gnocchi. Just use everything. This is I don't know if you agree, but I think this is a super easy dough to work with. It's not sticky. So I'm done. Voila. That's my gnocchi.
Yeah.
And I move them.
I feel
Yeah.
like it does, this dough does feel a lot like Play-Doh. And,
Yeah.
and it
Definitely.
has a good forgiving texture.
Yeah, very, very forgiving texture. And it's a traditional recipe that you will never find anywhere in a restaurant. So you can see all my gnocchi if you want to see from the top.
Yeah. And Sandra
Yeah.
and Dell from Plymouth MA said that the dough is amazing and their water's almost boiling. And that's great because we're almost ready
Yeah.
to start boiling your gnocchi. So
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, we need to make the sauce. So I'm moving to the kitchen counter and go ahead with the sauce. Okay.
And if your water is boiling, go ahead and just turn it down just a little bit so that you don't lose, have your water evaporate. Just turn it down to a lower boil, and then you can turn it back up again in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah. So we're gonna make the sauce now. It's these gnocchi, they go well with any kind of sauce. And I'm starting, so I have two pans here, and I'll add the pancetta of bacon. In my case, I'm using guanciale, the cheek of the pork, to the small pan. So I'm adding them to a pan. I have a lot of fat on this guanciale, so I'm not adding any other kind of fat, olive oil. But if you're using bacon or pancetta and it's a little dry, you can add a little bit of olive oil. And then you turn the heat on and you just saute the pancetta slowly until the fat is rendered. Okay? We want to have crispy pancetta to add on top of the gnocchi. So it's a kind of nice combination of texture because you have the soft gnocchi, the peas, and the crispy pancetta. And then for the sauce, that's a super simple sauce, but you can have your gnocchi paired with any kind of sauce. So I'm simply adding extra virgin olive oil, and the heat is off, guys. You have to listen to me. Heat is off. I add a little bit of olive oil more because it's not enough. And then I add the onion or the leek.
Okay, so your bacon guanciale is in a separate pan.
Yeah.
And you're doing the others in a different pan.
In a different pan. This is already going. The pan, the pancetta, the guanciale is going. And I'll leave it there. And now I just stir well the onion in the oil, so it's completely coated. And I turn the heat on. This is the moment you turn the heat on. So you might wonder why I didn't heat the oil first and add the onion. So in Italy, whenever we make it sauté, like even for your ragu, for instance, when you add carrots, onions, celery, or you want to make another sauté with garlic, we always start with a cold pan. That's very important because, if you add your vegetables to hot oil, you're going to fry everything, whereas we want to just serve the veggies, in this case, the onions or the leeks, to cook down, infuse the oil with their flavor, and just a little bit soften. Okay, we don't want to burn anything. This is the backbone of your sauce. It's the way you give flavor. So it's important to be gentle. So my heat is on, and especially with onion, I always cover at the beginning. So the steam, the watery part of the veggies will be trapped inside, And this will help to cook faster and cook down the vegetables, especially with leeks. Okay, so when everything is, when the onion is ready, I will add the peas, a pinch of salt, and turn the heat off. So pancetta is going here, and so I'm a kind of vegetarian. I mean, I don't eat so much meat, whereas I don't love pancetta, so it's not very much. But if you want to use more pancetta or bacon, you're welcome. So I'm always crying behind the camera now. So you can see in the pancetta that the fat is melting, and so we're gonna discard the fat, and we just want to have crispy pancetta. So we just keep going, keep the pancetta going for a little longer. My water also is also boiling, so I will turn it a little off. Okay, let me check the. So, see, I have little bubbles. The oil is gently heating, and the onions is cooking down. And it smells so good, Denise. Smells so good.
Yep, smell-o-vision. This is when you want smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision, yeah.
So what other sauces can people use for this gnocchi?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So, for instance, in springtime, I like to swap peas with asparagus. And in the summer, I've been making this the last couple weeks a lot with a nice fresh tomato sauce. So any kind of sauce is great with this gnocchi. But this is a classic, peas and pancetta, Italian classic. So it's a nice combination. I'm making sure the pancetta is not burning. So make sure your pancetta is not burning, but you want to have kind of this effect. It should be crunchy. Let's show you. Can you see?
Yeah.
Kind of brownish crunchy. So before I used to saute the pancetta with the onion, but it turned out to be soft at the end. And so Michelle's husband, Jed, didn't like this, and so that's why I changed the recipe. If you want to know some backgrounds about this recipe. And so you can see my onion. Can you see? It's softened, and it's ready. So I just add the peas here. The peas and the pink salt. Voila. And voila. I just cover it again. Cook like a minute. So it's super fast. You can use the sauce also for any kind of other pasta. Just stir, and cover it again, and then turn the heat off. So, and also my pancetta is ready. I turn the heat off under the pancetta. Otherwise it burns. Okay, I'll move a little bit of this because there's too many things. So, are we ready to cook the gnocchi? Shall I go on, Denise?
Well, let's do another quick peek at the gallery. I think that we've got lots of people with boiling water and a few people that are still maybe doing a little shaping of their gnocchi, but I think for the most part, let's utilize that boiling water while we can. So right now you've got everything in the sauce except the Parmesan.
Yes, right. The Parmesan is here, and I'm adding the Parmesan at the very end. When the gnocchi are cooked, I transfer them into the pan. The heat is always off. Maybe add a little bit of pasta water and add the Parmesan. But whenever you add, this is another tip. So listen well, whenever you add Parmesan to your pasta, when you're tossing the pasta in the pan, it's important that the heat is off because otherwise the Parmesan, the cheese will clumps. So cheese clumps when it's too much, there's too much heat. there is a certain temperature that melt the cheese, and after the temperature, the cheese coagulates. So keep in mind this, okay? So that's why if you try to make a cacio e pepe, that's another Italian recipe. If it clumps, because it's too hot, okay? So I'm looking at my pasta water. Ooh, it was hot. And water is boiling. So now listen very well to me.
Okay, this
If you've
is
been
one of
to,
those times. I'm gonna make everybody stop what you're doing. Watch Kika.
yeah,
It's an important lesson.
if you have been to Italy and cook with an Italian, you know that we put salt in the pasta water. I'm adding coarse sea salt, and sometimes people tell me, you need to add the water should taste like the ocean. In Italy, our Mediterranean Sea is very salty, so for us, it's not a good terms of comparison. So, but I add almost 10 grams of salt, coarse sea salt, for a liter of pasta water, sorry. So I will add 1, 2, and 3, maybe a little bit. So I always joke that in Italy it's illegal not salting pasta water, because the reason why we add that much salt is because salt gives flavor to your pasta. And so pasta, when cooks, absorb the flavor of your water. And if the water is bland, pasta has no taste. So if you just add a little pinch, it's like making tea with 1 bag of tea in a big pot of water. So basically, you don't taste anything. So you just trust me. Add your salt to your pasta water, and then you let me know.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Questions about salt.
Yeah.
Can you salt it before the water starts to boil?
No, that's a very good question. So, I mean, if you usually when we plan to eat pasta, we put water to boil and then add the salt. Because if you add, and usually when we eat pasta, it's a kind of our fast food in Italy. So it's something that we do quickly. And if you add salt before water boils, the water will take a longer time to boil. That's a chemochemical reaction, because salt lower the boiling point. So if you check online, you'll see.
Okay, one more question about kosher salt. Would you use less kosher salt than coarse sea salt?
So I have been asked this question many times, but I've never been using kosher salt. I don't know about kosher salt.
It's finer. It's much finer than the coarse sea salt. So you would not use 3 handfuls of kosher salt.
especially if it's finer, you use less.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
you can
go. I can go. I want to cook my gnocchi. We are hungry. It's dinner time. Yeah. Okay.
So yes, you're waiting for your water to be boiling before you add the salt.
Yeah. Yes. And did you see I'm adding all the gnocchi, not in batches. They are still, they didn't stick to each other. And then once you add them, you stir them, because they tend to go down to the pot. And so you want to make sure they don't stick to the pot. And now we wait. I'm going to cover again the pot so it goes back to boil. The water goes back to boiling. So what are we going to wait, Denise? We're going to wait for a magic moment, right?
Yes. And so Gamine uses kosher salt and says that she always adds 3 handfuls of kosher salt. It is coarser. So
yeah, but the ratio is with the water. It's not just the quantity of salt. And the quantity of salt depends on the quantity of water you have.
And also the coarseness of your kosher salt. So some kosher salt is a coarse kosher, and some is a fine. So it also depends on the coarseness of your salt. So yes, and someone asked, Carol Muncie asked if the tutorial will be recorded and viewed later. Absolutely, you'll get it within at least 24 hours, if not a little sooner than that. And so you asked a question, Kika, that we were still answering questions. What was the question you asked me?
That we are waiting for a magic moment.
Oh,
The magic moment
the magic
is that
moment. There's a Donna Summer song that we like to sing.
it's
When the
they're coming up. So gnocchi are ready when they come up to the surface of your pasta water. Okay. So mine are up. I can see them. So it doesn't take so much time. This depends also on the flour you have used. So if you have used AP flour, maybe it takes a little longer, but 00 flour cooks very quickly. So once they're up on the surface, I just leave them like 30 seconds more. And you can also taste one. And you want to make sure that the flour is cooked all the way through. You don't want to taste flour. So I took one, I split it in two parts. It's a little hot and taste. It's okay. They are done. Okay. And see, they hold their shape. They don't melt in your pasta water. And so with the strainer colander, I just add them directly into the pan with the sauce.
Oh, that looks so
Okay.
good. And
Yeah.
Tade asked if you freeze before cooking.
Yeah.
Yes, so definitely freeze before cooking.
Yeah. And then you can cook them without defrosted. So if you want to make this like for a dinner party, you can prepare them in advance and have them ready. So now I'm adding the cheese, but what I want to do is add a little bit of liquid, like pasta water. So the cheese will melt quickly. And I'm sprinkling the cheese and toss everything together. And the dish is ready. So now you can really do this in 30 minutes. It's just because we were talking so much. But if you're all alone without me talking to you, you're going to be doing this very quickly.
What about your pancetta?
Yeah. But add this later on top. So just kind of a garnish decoration. And voila. They smell good and look good. Voila. And then the pancetta. Pancetta is there. Like this. And this. So you really have the contrast between the softness of the gnocchi, the crispiness of the pancetta, which is also salty, and contrast with the sweetness of the peas. So there are lots of combinations of flavors and texture, even though it's like a very simple dish. But small things can change, a dish. And voila. So I thought it was not a lot of pancetta, but I think it's a lot of pancetta here. Voila. And then voila. And then I move to the counter. And I want to taste the gnocchi, to the table. Here. Arnaud, do you want to taste with me? I take a fork. Arnaud is coming to taste. Let's see. Vieni this way. Come this way. Let's see. Very good.
Okay. So one of our class questions is to take a quick screenshot together. So if you would like to participate, make sure your video is on and come close to your screen with your gnocchi in whatever stage they're at. And we're going to take a few screenshots here. So I'm going to pop us back into gallery view. And so go ahead and put your screen back onto, yep, there you go. And I'm going to take a few screenshots. So give me that big toothy grin and a nice smile or a wave. And 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, I'm going to take another photo. So please keep smiling if you don't mind. 1, 2, 3, smile, everybody. Smile, smile. All right, fantastic. Great. And if you have photos that you've taken today, please share those as well. We love to see those. And yeah, we hope that you had fun at our virtual gnocchi party today. And before we go on to our talking about what we're cooking, I just wanted to pop in. Anybody have any questions about their sauce or the final stages of making things together? Looks like we've got people taking bites. Everything tasting good so far? Oh, that's
Yeah, let me know.
That's good. That's good. Big thumbs up. Great. All righty. So yeah, so we wanted to give you show you a little bit of why we'd like to invite you to be part of our cooking community and join Chicca's Cooking Club. And so I'm going to share a few of our slides here, and Chicca's going to give you a little sneak peek into what we're cooking next season.
Yes, can't wait to share. So if you had fun today cooking with me and Denise and all our community, you can consider joining our cooking club. So on the slide, you can see just kind of a little emotional reasons why you can join, and yeah, you can, because it's simple, it's mindful, and it's pure joy. And when you become a member, your membership will include 6 new live seasonal Italian recipes via Zoom. We just cook like we did today. Classes are always on Saturdays, fully interactive, just like today. And this season includes 1 handmade pasta class, 1 Italian dessert, 4 seasonal recipes classes from my family and Italian traditions, where you learn to make the most of fresh ingredients in season. Next season will be August through November. All my recipes are tested. Denise also tests them too. And so they always work. They are simple, healthy, and flexible. We're going to give you easy tips to adapt each recipe to vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free. And we try to make cooking a little easier for you. So the first class of the season, August 23, will be zucchini and potato frittata. So frittata in Italy is something that usually is made in a pan, but in this case, we're going to bake the frittata. There will be potatoes, cooked potatoes, tomatoes, zucchini blossom if you have in your garden. It's a super creamy. It's a kind of a quiche without a pasta shell, without a crust. Then we have my favorite class. It's a pasta class. We're gonna make handmade fettuccine from scratch, knead in the dough like today, and shape the fettuccine with an incredible 3 tomato sauce. And then we're gonna make focaccia. That's a typical focaccia from Liguria region. It's a super easy because it doesn't involve any rising or waiting time, no yeast. It's basically 2 pasta dough filled with cheese. So it's super creamy in the middle. It's delicious. Then we're gonna make other kind of gnocchi, semolina gnocchi. It's a twist on the semolina gnocchi because we're gonna add spinach in them. So this is gonna be another gnocchi recipe you can learn. And then we're gonna make the dessert will be biscotti occhio di bue oxide cookies. You're gonna learn how to make the flakiest pasta crust, short crust, and then fill the cookies with the jam. Basically, they are kind of mini tart, super delicious. And then we're gonna make at the end of the season, so this will be the last class on November 22nd, insalata russa. So this is a very traditional salad that in Italy appears just on Christmas. And then for the whole year, you have to just crave for that. And so we're going to make this. It's super delicious. And I'll teach you how to make mayonnaise with boiled eggs, no raw eggs. So you're going to make your mayonnaise just in your kitchen every time because this is super easy. Okay.
Awesome. And when we cook together from August through November, all our classes are great for beginners and experienced cooks. You'll expand your skills, mastering new Italian recipes, cooking handmade dishes with a short list of easy to find ingredients. By the end of each class, you'll have a homemade meal. We always have so much fun during each class, just like we did today with our cooking community. And if you miss a class, you'll receive the replay video within 24 hours. As a member of the club, you'll also get to join a vibrant Facebook community where you can share photos, ask questions, and connect with fellow Italian cooking enthusiasts. And for each recipe, there's a wine pairing suggested by a professional sommelier and longtime club member. We've built an incredible ever-growing video recipe library since 2020 that now includes over 100 Italian video recipes available only to members. And you'll get access to on-demand classes covering the best of Italian cuisine. We like to say it's easier than Netflix. Inside the library, you'll find delicious recipes for everyday cooking and special occasions. And the library has all the must-have Italian classics, including 4 variations of tiramisu, 4 iconic spaghetti recipes, cacio e pepe, puttanesca amatriciana, and spaghetti alla carbonara, a few handmade ravioli, cream risotto recipes, and many more. All the recipes come with customizable serving sizes so that you can cook for any number of guests with ease.
And these are some photos of our members having fun making Kika's recipes for dinner parties and getting together for family meals. It's a fun thing to do together. Also, visiting her in Tuscany. Some people actually go on site. So I recognize a lot of those faces from earlier in the club. Another thing, if you are here today, which you are, a gnocchi party gift for you. If you sign up for the club today, we'll send you a free digital copy of Kika's cookbook, which you can see here. It's got 30 vegetarian recipes from starters to desserts. So that's a nice bonus if you do choose to sign up today.
And sign up for the membership to enjoy 6 new live classes over 4 months and over 100 exclusive recipes on replay. Go to the website you see on the screen. Michelle's also dropping that in the chat for you now. And if you do run into any issues whatsoever, just email us at club@cookingintuscany.cc. And if you have, so drop your questions in the chat. And then before we do have any, do check the chat. Kika, is there anything else you'd like to add about the club?
Yeah, so it's this club is running for 5 years, and we can still believe it. And it's not just about the recipe, the fun, enjoy cooking together. It's about connection. So many members have become real life friends, and some have even visited me in Tuscany. And it's always a great joy. And now I can tell that you too have a friend in Tuscany to cook with or to visit. Michelle, were there any questions about the club?
Yes. So James was saying that they always look forward to the recipes each season. And we did have a question from Debbie about if they do a la carte, can they choose which one they do? And usually you can, but sometimes there's members only classes. Is that still happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first class of the season is a member only class, and then the rest of the classes are open for a la carte.
Yeah, but a membership, if you purchase these classes with the membership, it's a bundle of classes with a better price compared to the live class, the a la carte classes. So it's a bargain, right?
And
Yeah.
yeah, C-Mill is asking, is it a yearly automatic subscription?
It's 3 times a year.
Mhm.
So we do our it's for 4 months. The membership is for 4 months, and so it renews every 4 months.
Yeah.
And then we did actually have a couple of questions about the class still, so I will go back to those. Question.
It does. Yeah, it does renew automatically, but of course you can cancel before your renewal if you don't want to do the next season.
Correct.
Mhm. And Denise, and members, they have access to over 100 classes. Yeah, you said that before, but I think this is a very great value that our members have because they cook from the library a lot of times, right? Yeah.
So you, even though you're just signing up for this season with the 6 classes, you do get access to the full library, and it is immense. So there's lots of recipes. I don't think you'll ever run out of opportunities to cook those recipes. Michael asked, how do you store the cooked finished dish? So how do you?
Yeah, depends on when you plan to eat the dish. So if I eat this in a couple of hours and it's not very hot in your place, you can leave it covered with the lid on the stove and just reheat it later. If it's like later in the day, maybe I will put it in the fridge and then reheat this later when you're ready to eat.
Yes, and then where one of the recipes calls for zucchini flowers, and so if you don't have zucchini flowers, you can skip the zucchini flowers.
Yeah.
Just it makes them very pretty. And then if you don't want to, if you can't decide today, membership is open until August 15th. You just won't get the bonus today of the cookbook. But you do have until the 15th to decide if you want to join membership. And then we'll have another drive in December. But so thank you all for joining us today. And as Chicca said, we've covered a lot of questions. And if you want to learn more, we have an extensive FAQ section on the website. So you can check that there. And if you have any questions, and if you want to send us your photos, you can send them to club@cookingin.tuscany.cc. And then, we definitely, would love to have you join us. And Nathan, thank you. Nathan said, Chicca, this was great. Thank you so much. His daughters will love doing this with them. And some people, it's the first time cooking live in a class like this. So thank you, C. Mill, for doing that. And Chicca, do you have any final thoughts for people?
Yeah, so next season is going to be fantastic. So we're going to have very cute, nice recipes. You can learn so many new recipes, how to use different ingredients. And so I hope to see you in the kitchen again, and I hope you had fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and so also one of our cooking class traditions is before we say goodbye, we invite everyone to unmute, and we get to all say goodbye. So I will ask everyone to unmute, and we will have the opportunity to all say goodbye. So
Thank you.
We'll say ciao.
Thank you.
Grazie. 3, 2, 1. Ciao.
Oh.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.